Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, guys. Today is August the 1st, 2021. Today I'm going to be looking at the S&P 500. As you guys can see on the front screen here, I'm also going to be looking at Roku, which is reporting earnings on Wednesday. Moderna also reporting earnings on Thursday. Square on Thursday. DKNG, AMC, and I'm also going to be looking at Tesla real quick and AMD, which is at all-time highs. But before we get started, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, leave a comment in the comment section if you do want any names reviewed going into next week. And if you are interested in our Discord group, it's not too late. We do have a sale, $30 for 30 days. It's a great offer. Head over to our IG page and hit me up and let me know if you're interested, and we can get you going right there. Okay, so going into the S&P 500, as you guys can see here, I am looking at that 4,400 level psychological. I would like to stay above that level, but my entry would be above that 4410. As you guys can see here, we did have some consolidation at that 4410 and unable to break it on Friday. So going to Monday, I am looking at 4410 for potential push to all-time highs, which is that 4430 level. Now, if we do see continued strength, we do have earnings on a bunch of big names here, so the market could definitely push up to that 4450 level and that 4460 level, which I have drawn out as my next targets. Now, to the downside, 4380 is key support. As you guys can see here, we did bounce on that level here, and we did have that price action here on July the 12th. So I am looking at 4380 to hold, but anything can be broken. So if that does, I am looking at 4360 and 4350. We do have a gap fill over here as well at 4367. So I'll look for a push down to there for a quick wick and then buyer stepping in. Okay. I am pretty bullish on the S&P 500 and the trend is still going up. So until we see weakness, I am bullish. 4,400 is key for me. I want to stay above that level. Okay. So that's the S&P and my analysis on that. Heading into our watch list name, ROKU. Roku is my first name that caught my attention. So here we are on the 1 hour chart. We do have earnings on Wednesday after the close, I believe it is. And we do have all-time highs that we touched on a double top at 490. We hit all-time highs back on February as well. So we are in a double top scenario. And usually when you do hit a double top and can't break it, you push lower. And that's what we saw here in the past week. So we just closed just below that $430 resistance. Going into earnings, I am looking for a push and a test at that 490 level once again. And if we do see an earnings beat, definitely look for that $500 level, that psychological round number to get hit. Now, much of Roku's push could be in anticipation of earnings and strong earnings. So as they say, you buy the rumor, you sell the news. That could be a top scenario. But as traders, we don't really care. We just like to play the levels. So going into tomorrow, 440 is a key level for me, as you guys can see here. And 445, 450 are my next targets. And support, key support, we're currently at that 430 level as support. If we do push lower, look for 420, as we did catapult from that area back on the 23rd of July. So 420 is a major support for me. If we do see continued weakness, and if we do have an earnings bomb, look for 410, 405, and 395 as key support levels on Roku. And that's my analysis on Roku. I'm pretty bullish on it. However, I'm kind of wait and see approach to see if we can get past that 450 level, which is my entry point personally for potential push to 460 and 464 retests. Okay, so that is Roku on the hourly time frame. Another name that's pretty bullish and has been making great moves and strides is Moderna, MRNA, also reporting earnings on Thursday after the close. And I'm going to zoom in here for you guys so you can see a better view. Okay, so we do have obviously 362 all-time highs. And I mean, if you guessed it, I do want to see a push above 362 for potential take profits at 370 and 375. Those are my bullish targets to the upside. Now to the downside, if this is a run up in anticipation of earnings, again, one of those buy the rumor, sell the news types of events. And I have key support at that $319 level if we do see weakness going into tomorrow and earnings. And overall, I am looking above that 362 level for my entry point. We have been trending sideways here at that 355 level, holding that. That's pretty bullish to me. We haven't seen any weakness so far, and it is holding above the EMA and the VWAP at that 1 hour time frame. To the downside, we do have that 343 area as key support. If that breaks, I'm looking at that 330, and even 325, where we did see some price action over here, and even low as that 320 area, which I can pretty much think that's where we're going to land if we do see an earnings bomb. Overall, Moderna is pretty bullish, and if you caught the trades in our group, good for you, because it's one of those stocks that you definitely need to keep your eyes on. Okay. Overall, the trend is your friend, and pretty bullish on Moderna, but be aware of earnings. Anything can happen. Whipsaw action in both ends, and if you are holding options, just be aware of that. Okay. And another name that I want to discuss heading into next week is Square, SQ. Obviously, Square likes to push up and mimic Bitcoin's price action, and as you guys know, Bitcoin is above that $40,000 level. And as long as Bitcoin pushes up, I can definitely see Square push up as well. Going into tomorrow, I am looking at that $250 level, and above that 255, 260 as key targets to the upside. Overall, on an earnings push, I would like to see 270 break. If 270 breaks, I am looking at 274 and 280. Pretty bullish on Square. As long as we can stay above this 240, 237 level, I'm pretty happy. Key support is that level. As you guys can see here, we couldn't break it before, which was resistance. Resistance now turns support. So 240 to 237 is a key level for me. Obviously, levels do get broken, as I mentioned. If we do see a break, look for that 230, 227 and a half, as we did bounce from here and pushed all the way to 270. So another retest, and the way that the chart looks right now, it looks like it might retest, right? We had a top right here, another staircase pattern here. Perhaps we build another one here, then head down to that 225, 227, 230 level, as you guys can see here. Now, obviously, the upside, I do want to see that 270 break. Neutral at the moment on Square. Overall, in the long trend, I am bullish. And as long as Bitcoin can stay above that $40,000 level and above, I could see Square also pushing higher as well. Okay, so they are reporting earnings on Thursday. Another name that's part of our swing trading watch list at Wealthy Mentor Trading is DKNG, DraftKings. Okay. DKNG is the ticker. All right. And here we are on DraftKings. I am going to switch over to the 4 hour time frame to give you guys a better look. So key level for me right off the bat, I do see that $56 level as key resistance. You know, we had a hard time breaking it here back on December 2020. Over here, we got rejected again on June. And, you know, the bounces got weaker and weaker. We tried to break it here, pushed back down, tried to push back up. We couldn't even get over 53. And on an earnings beat, I definitely want to see $56 break for potential next key resistance at that $65 level, where we do see strong resistance once again. So on an earnings beat, I want to see 56 break for a push to 65. Now on an earnings bomb, I do want to see that $43, $41 level hold. If we do push below that, you know, I could definitely see a bounce at 40 and then push back up to this consolidation area. However, if we cannot bounce, look for $38 as your next key support level. Now, tomorrow, as a day trader, I am looking at that 53.50 level. Above 53.50, I am looking to take profits at that $56 level, just because I mentioned we do have strong resistance. You can always take profits and re-enter based on a few things. One, volume. Volume is always king, right? Two, market conditions. Three, analyst upgrades, right? Four, breaking news. All these type of catalysts will definitely catapult this above that $56 level that we're looking at, okay? So that is DKNG, and I'm currently neutral on it. Like to see it push above that $56 level, okay? And another name, very popular, and I'm actually pretty anxious on this one. It is AMC. Now, obviously, AMC earnings are kind of it's kind of questionable because the stock is pretty much inflated and earnings are kind of like out the window. However, it does bring awareness to other people. It does bring more buyers coming in. So that type of awareness is, and as they say, any publicity is good publicity. So a strong earnings will definitely bring in more buyers. And, as I've mentioned before, this stock is highly manipulated. But we don't care as traders. We're just looking at these key levels, and going into tomorrow, I am looking at that $39.50 level, right? That level for me is key. Obviously, we couldn't break it here on the 15th of July. Had a hard time here, a rug pull, thought there was a breakout, and then big candlestick down. And overall, the volume is pretty weak on these sell-offs, so it's kind of suspect to me. But if we do break that $39.50 level and we do see great volume, I definitely look at that 42.5 and 44 as key targets. We did hit 45 here. We got pushed back right down above 45, and on an earnings beat, definitely look above that $50 level where we did consolidate quite a bit before we dropped down and broke it right here back on the 6th of July. So above 50 is pretty bullish for me. And, if we do get above that $50 level, you can definitely see a push to that $57 and $62 level as we did hit multiple times on June. Okay. Overall, I'm neutral at the moment. Long term, I'm bullish. Many times, a lot of pump and dump stocks, they go up and they go straight down. However, AMC is kind of a weird one where it has held those key levels, and obviously there's a huge following, a cult-like following with AMC. And I've never seen something like this, to be honest with you. A lot of manipulation with the hedge funds and whatnot, and what they're trying to do and play these psychological games. But if you are a shareholder, my recommendation is to hold. And personally, I do hold shares with AMC, and I am holding as well. Okay. Now to the downside, if we do get an earnings bomb, I am looking below that $36 level for potential retest at $33 and $30 respectively. Okay. That is my views on AMC, and they are reporting on Friday after the close. Another name that is not reporting earnings, but they did have pretty good earnings, but the stock didn't do much, is Tesla. And Tesla to me rings a bell because, as I mentioned in previous streams, that $700 level is approaching us once again. So as you guys can see here, multiple rejections at that 700 psychological level. So here we are again. We did have a nice push on Friday. So going into tomorrow and next week, I am looking above that $700 level. If we can finally break that with some convincing volume, guys, the sky is the limit here. We definitely retest 710, 720, 730, and 740 respectively. Those are my targets to the upside. Now, let's just say, obviously, we get rejected once again at 700. Where am I looking at? 682 is key support for me. As you guys know, and are part of my Discord trading group, 682 is one of those levels that has been highlighted quite a few times. Obviously, just from the charts, as you can see here, bunch of consolidation around that level. So 682 is key support. If we break support, look for shorting opportunities down to that 665 level and that 650 level for puts. Now to the upside, obviously, like I mentioned, 700 is key. So keep your eyes on Tesla heading into next week. Did have great earnings, and sometimes there's about a week delay. The stock might trend sideways after earnings, and the next week it might boom. So it's just one of those things that you want to keep on your watch list and watch closely. Okay. Another name, man, this one has been pushing, and that's AMD. Semiconductors is one of those ETFs that you got to look at, SMH, right? So if you see continued strength in SMH, look for that $107 level to get purged for a potential push to 109, 110. Overall, I'm pretty bullish on AMD. However, guys, we do have a straight line, beeline all the way up. That can be problematic because you don't build much support. So going into next week, if we do see some sort of pullback, your first indication would be that 105 level. If that were to break, look for shorting opportunities down to that 102 level, okay? Where we did see some price action here and we did see a bit of a sell-off and hold that level. So if we do see 105 break, look for retest at that 102.50 level. And obviously, if we do see 102.50 level, our next key area that we did see some consolidation was that 98 to $96.50 level. So that's to the downside. Overall, as I mentioned before, the trend is your friend. And right now, AMD looks great. So keep your eyes on the semiconductors. SMH is the ETF. So if SMH continues to push, AMD is obviously part of that. And also look for different correlations. I've always talking about correlations in our group, and Nvidia, they've been stuck into that 195, $200 level. SMH pushes, obviously you're going to be looking at AMD. AMD pushes, obviously you're going to be looking at Nvidia. So as a trader, you gotta, put the puzzle together, right? These are all little clues as an investigator, as a stock trader that you pick up on. So just a friendly tip on SMH and AMD and Nvidia. All right, guys, those are the key names that I want to talk about. And just to give you a quick recap, Roku is reporting on Wednesday, Moderna on Thursday, Square on Thursday, DKNG and AMC also on Friday. That's an exciting one. Look for our Discord um, call outs if you are part of that. And if you do want to join, holler at me. You know how to get a contact of me. And I will be posting on our IG page up to date earnings bombs, or obviously if we do fly high. Okay. Also, like I said, on Tesla, that $700 level, keep your eyes on that. And AMD also in price discovery. All right. Please give this video a thumbs up, guys. It helps with the Facebook algorithms, the YouTube algorithms, and the IG algorithms. It gets the name out there. And I just want to build a great community that I can share my information with. All right. Thank you so much and see you next week.